Thank you. Welcome. Mr. Zivan, you are a successful academic and political expert. You have, among other and many other things, write a book entitled The Center Must Hold, which is precisely the discussion of today. Please, could you tell us why you believe that the centrism is the answer to extremism and polarization? The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, and thank you for having me here today. Sandra, it's good to see you. So, 2024 was the year of change. It was the first year in living memory where every governing party in the developed world lost, or at least lost support. Wherever in the world people went to vote, they voted against those in power. The United States, the European Union, India, the UK, France. In some places, the shift was to the right, in others to the left. Part of the change was in what those words left and right even mean anymore. The only constant this year was change. The only message delivered by voters across the world was a desire for something different. Frustration with the system, cynicism about politics and politicians, culture wars, economic hardship. It all led to rising levels of populism and an increase in the political power of extremist voices. That is the most dangerous political trend of our time, and we cannot ignore it. The defining political moment of my life came when I was 10 years old. I remember everything about the moment I heard that Yitzhak Rabin, the Israeli Prime Minister, had been assassinated by a far-right Jewish extremist. The shock that someone would kill a prime minister for seeking peace. The instinctive understanding that I think we all share, that if left unchecked and unchallenged, if encouraged by populist leaders, extremism always leads to violence. Building the alternative to the rise of extremism, then, is the most urgent political goal of our time. The answer to the rise of the far right can't come from the far left, and the answer to the rise of the far left will not come from the far right. The only answer comes from the political center. Building a successful political center isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. And for centrism to succeed, we need to focus on 3 C's: being coherent, caring, and confident. But we also need to tap into the public mood, and that mood is change. Centrism's biggest obstacle today is the sense that we're the home of the status quo, a stale political middle, defending a world and a system that seems outdated and out of touch at best, corrupt and decayed at worst, a system that simply doesn't deliver for ordinary people. And while the populist right rails against that system, and the populist left pushes for radical social change, we run the risk of being seen as the comfortable home for continuity. But that's never been the way of centrism, and it certainly has never been the way of successful centrists. Tony Blair's New Labour offered a radical break in British politics. Bill Clinton's New Democrats broke the traditional mold. En Marche upended the traditional French political system, and my party, Yesh Atid, led by Yair Lapid, stormed into Israeli politics, offering a completely different system. As Sandro sums up in his essay with Matteo Renzi in my new book, sometimes we must be radical and disruptive, taking a clear direction and making clear-cut choices. Where then to start? First, a coherent message. There are 5 core principles at the heart of centrism. Each of them provides the foundations for modern, relevant, forward-looking policy solutions. The first is liberal patriotism. When we hear our national anthem play and see our flag flutter in the wind at the Olympic Games, we feel a sense of pride. We all bask in the collective glow when one of our compatriots achieves something spectacular. A sense of national identity is deeply ingrained within us. It's a powerful driver, and centrists should embrace it wholeheartedly. We are not global citizens who feel ambiguous about our home, nor are we angry nationalists. Patriotism doesn't mean hating the other. It doesn't mean rejecting outsiders. Patriotism is a belief in ourselves. It's emotional, and it's a core building block of our identity. We each need to build and tell a positive national story, a story the public can unite around, a story that fills us with pride and offers us the chance to be part of something, a connection to a shared history and a vision for a shared future. For this room, Europe can and must be a part of that story. Centrism, then, is the place of liberal patriotism. The second principle is equality of opportunity. That is the social and economic organizing principle of centrist politics. It's not equality of outcome that we seek. We strive for meritocracy, we encourage entrepreneurship and innovation. Those are the driving forces of a modern economy. We should reward those who succeed. But we know not everyone has a fair start in life. Inequality breeds further inequality. The circumstance of your birth, the economic reality in your hometown, those things matter. The primary role of centrism, then, is to create opportunity. The economic contract we offer is a simple one. We'll ensure you have the opportunity to succeed. You have to take it. That's why centrists should focus on those areas of policy that create economic opportunity: education, healthcare, infrastructure. There is no greater investment a country can make than in the education of its children and the health of its population. The return on those investments is enormous. Together with new technology, we can dramatically improve opportunity. It's time to revolutionize education and healthcare. And centrists should be the ones leading that revolution, grabbing that opportunity and opening it up for the people that we serve. The third principle is an embrace of complexity. There are a series of words that have gone out of fashion in politics: nuance, moderation, pragmatism, compromise. But those aren't negative concepts. They're critical to the success of society. We can and we should proudly put them at the heart of our agenda. Everyone in this room compromises on a daily basis, with your wives or husbands, with your children, with your colleagues, with your friends. Compromise allows society to function. Yet in politics, we've allowed compromise to become a synonym for betrayal, for weakness, for a lack of principle. But without moderation, without pragmatism, without compromise, government will never deliver for the public. Politicians will deliver empty slogans, but with no tangible results. And that will only feed the sense of distrust. Bringing these concepts back into politics involves a head-on collision with extremists, for whom compromise, moderation, and pragmatism are the ultimate evil. It requires taking on the worst instincts of populist politicians from across the spectrum, and it's a fight that's worth having. The fourth principle is the politics of hope. The politics of hope is a term I've gratefully borrowed from the late Chief Rabbi of Great Britain, Lord Jonathan Sacks. He was one of the great thinkers and writers of our age. At a time when politics is driven by fear, polarization, cynicism, and mistrust, our role is to offer a politics of hope, a politics that can inspire. Rabbi Sacks called hope an active virtue. It's a purpose that gets you out of bed in the morning to work for something better. Friends, we will never defeat extremists at their own game. They want to drag us into the death spiral of negativity. They want to destroy confidence in our countries. Extremists always benefit from a sense of impending doom and destruction, but we're the ones that pay the price. The fifth principle combines it all, and that is a commitment to liberal democracy and individual freedom. Perhaps nothing goes against the grain of political commentary today more than this. Liberal democracy is the best form of government we know. It's worth defending, and it's worth fighting for. Nowhere is that starker than right here in Europe. The genius of liberal democracy is not that it's perfect, but that it has the ability to correct itself. Checks and balances, a free press, free speech, the right to protest. These don't only protect the individual, but they improve the system. They identify faults and they force change. It's what sets liberal democracy apart from autocracies. At a time when individual identity is under attack by illiberal cancel culture from the left, and when individual rights are under attack by illiberal authoritarianism on the right, our commitment to liberal democracy is our bedrock. It's not a theoretical commitment to an abstract idea of democracy. It's a daily commitment to ensuring that every citizen, as an individual, is treated fairly and is given the rights which are guaranteed to them. Liberal democracy makes us stronger, it makes us safer, it makes us more successful, and centrists are its guardians in the modern world. These are 5 principles: liberal patriotism, equality of opportunity, embrace of complexity, a politics of hope, a commitment to liberal democracy and individual freedom, and they offer a clear sense of who we are. Centrism is the place of freedom, patriotism, opportunity, impact, and hope. The second of the 3 C's after coherence is caring. To reconnect with the public, we need to show genuine understanding and empathy. The public doesn't expect politicians to solve every problem, but they expect them to care about their lives, to care about their challenges, to care about their fears and their hopes. In 1992, Bill Clinton was running for President of the United States. During a debate with President Bush, there's a question about the economic situation. Clinton steps forward from his podium to speak directly to the woman who asked the question. He engages her in conversation about how the situation affected her personally. He talked about the small business owners he knows who were struggling just like her. It was a moment of genuine empathy, a 90-second masterclass. Politicians have to understand the daily lives of the people they seek to represent. Nothing is worse than a sense of elitism and detachment. We have to understand that the fears people express, the fears that extremists seek to manipulate, are genuine. Worrying about immigration and a changing cultural landscape doesn't make you a racist. Worrying about rapid technological change doesn't make you backwards. Worrying about the impact of globalization doesn't make you a nativist. It's natural that people worry about jobs moving abroad or automation replacing them, about their communities falling apart. As in life, so in politics. When we listen to people, people listen to us. And finally, the third C, confidence. There is no place in today's political landscape for incoherent and muddled thinking. When change is the driving force, confidence is key. No one wants to put their trust in those who seem unsure of themselves. No one wants leaders who seem confused about what they believe. Centrists are uniquely positioned to have both a relentless ability to look forward and drive change and a deep, enduring connection to our history and traditions. In late June, I published The Centre Must Hold, a collection of essays making the case for political centrism. Within moments of the first tweet about the book, I was called both a Nazi and a communist. Left-wing accounts accused me of being a stooge for the radical right. Right-wing accounts charged that I was secretly trying to convert people to the far left. It was a reminder once more that extremists from the right and the left are not just similar, they're almost identical. The vitriol was, as many of you will have experienced firsthand, intense. But that should only strengthen our resolve. There's a great line in one of the essays in the book. Daniel Lubetzky writes, "Extremists wake up in the morning and ask, how can I advance my mission? Moderates wake up and ask themselves, what can I have for breakfast?" Populists and extremists never take a step backwards. And so we must be more committed than they are. We have solutions to the biggest challenges facing the world. We have an approach that works. What we need now is a confident centre that believes in itself and believes in its message. We should say proudly that the values we offer, the policies we present, should be at the heart, at the centre of modern politics. Our passion will inspire passion. In a world looking for change, the politics we offer is the greatest change of all. We offer a modern politics that will provide answers to modern challenges. We offer an antidote to extremism and an alternative to populism. In short, what we offer is a new way forward. Thank you very much.